Okay, what you see in front of you are 4 packages of ground beef. Which package would you buy and why? When we come back, we're going to talk all about the different varieties of ground beef and how to get the highest quality at the lowest price. Ground beef is the most widely consumed beef product among American consumers. It is estimated that 40 to 45% of beef is consumed as ground beef, and when beef is prepared for meals at home, ground beef is used 60% of the time. Consumers often buy ground beef of different degrees of leanness based on personal preference or the type of recipe being prepared. When ground beef arrives at the grocery store, it is already pre-ground from the packing plants and is labeled according to how lean it is. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the largest hamburger weighed 913 kilograms, or 2,014 pounds, and was prepared by Black Bear Casino Resort in Minnesota. The hamburger was topped with 52 pounds of tomatoes, 50 pounds of lettuce, 60 pounds of onions, 19 pounds of pickles, 40 pounds of cheese, and 16.5 pounds of bacon. These tubes of burger are then shipped to the grocery stores where they are reground into smaller packages for individual sale and a better presentation. The store grinders have small holes in the plates that give it kind of a spaghetti appearance. After the burger is reground and packaged, it is then labeled according to how lean it is. Typically, the leaner the burger, the more expensive the cost to the consumer. So how do you get the most bang for your buck? How do you get the leanest burger for the cheapest price? Well, being in the butchering business for over 25 years, when I see ads like this, I don't see top round roast or sirloin tip roast. I see tacos, burritos, lasagna, and on and on and on. Let me explain. A good quality meat shop is all about presentation. When you cut a piece of meat, you want that piece of meat to sell. So you want the appearance in the meat case to have the best appearance possible. You want as little as fat. You don't want any gristle. You want it trimmed up, and you want that thing to look picture perfect. You want that customer to walk in and say, I want to buy that piece of meat. So by doing that, this is a sirloin tip, for example. You want to take off all the trimmings that you can that's going to give it a bad presentation in the meat case. The better you make that piece of meat look the first time, the less chance you're going to have of having to reduce that piece of meat and take less money for it. You want it to sell the first time around. A sirloin tip roast is a very lean piece of meat. There's not a lot of interior fats and very little external fat. And by trimming this up, you're pretty much buying a solid piece of meat when you buy a sirloin tip roast. Well, here's where the exciting part comes in. Maybe you don't want a roast. Maybe you have like 2 roasts already sitting in your freezer. Maybe you want tacos or lasagna. Well, all you have to do is take that nice pretty roast out of the meat case, take it back to your butcher and say, would you please grind this up for me? 90% of the time, a good butcher will do what you ask him because he wants to make the sale. He wants to keep the customer, and he wants to make you happy. And you can already tell that by grinding this sirloin tip that it's a lot darker and leaner than the previous grinds that we mentioned. Even the 90% doesn't even come close to what a sirloin tip is going to grind into. Straight ground sirloin is really good meat. It's not only very lean, but now you know exactly where your hamburger is coming from. You know it's coming from one piece of meat. It's 100% ground sirloin. And you could do this with any of those cuts of meat. You could do ground round, ground chuck, ground sirloin, and you can obviously tell the difference in color and texture of when you have a roast ground into burger. Now let's talk about the good part, the price. The week that those roasts were on sale for $3.99 a pound, 80% lean was the same price for $3.99 a pound. 85% lean was $5.49 a pound. And 90% lean was $5.99 a pound. So you're getting ground sirloin for the same price as the 80% lean ground beef, and it's definitely a superior burger. If you found this video informative, then click the little subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Thank you for visiting us here at the Butcher Shop.